Hello everyone. Let's tune into Venus stationing direct in Pisces. This happens this weekend just a little over a degree from Saturn. Basically, since the end of March, Venus has been crossing Saturn, right now just half a degree from Saturn. When Venus stations, it will pick up speed and then cross Saturn again for the third time. So Saturn is a very big part of this Venus stationing journey. Let's tune into this. One of the challenges with Venus and Pisces in general is over-idealization, right? We can idealize our relationships because of a potential that we know it could reach, right? Seeing the potential in another person or who they can become or how they could potentially change, or knowing what two people can be, right? Just that sense of the possibilities, but being naive and sort of disconnected from what things actually are right now. So we can live in a state of idealization, of wanting or believing that a relationship or a person will change, or we can just give indiscriminately generously, but we are expecting that other people will be generous too, right? So what happens with Venus and Pisces stationing direct next to Saturn is we get a reality check. Oh, the way life is going is actually not the way I thought it was or told it that it should. You are not who I made you to be. Others aren't going to relate or give just because I am in a certain way. So there's a sort of stark reality check. We can apply this as well to our finances. Spending indiscriminately because of the truth of abundance, right? Life is abundant. We are full of what we need and everything's okay, but not being connected to our actual practical physical reality. Like, do you have what you're spending? What are you doing with your resources? There can be a lot of distraction and getting lost in the promise of materialism, but in a way that's totally disconnected from our actual practical lived reality, right? So Venus stationing direct next to Saturn is like, hey, where things are going are not actually where you thought they were. You can't pay your rent. You don't have what you need. So all of this can be very sombering, very depressing, sort of just like, oh, that doesn't feel very good. And that's the point. It doesn't feel very good. We were escaping our feelings. That's what Venus and Pisces might often do. Run away from actually feeling with. Feeling from a Venus perspective, interestingly enough, is often antithetical to the survival impulse, because to feel something that we don't want existentially says, this is uncomfortable, I'm not going to live, I'm not going to survive, right? So we have to actually deny your feelings, repress them, not look at them, and persist in what we're wanting to feel, which is an illusion, based in an illusion. But paradoxically, that actually is like a bubble that we're living in. We're not actually living. So we're moving closer to death. We're not here. We're not present. We're not really in this world. We're not really in our bodies. We're not really in our relationships. So to feel might be a little bit difficult. But when we actually feel, what it does is it brings us present to where things are actually happening right now. And that's really beautiful, because that's the starting point from which we can actually find a solution. And the solution isn't like an abstract spiritual ideal, it's practical. This is one of the teachings of Pisces in general. Learning how to really be in the world, and how it's often like the last thing we actually want to do, because we see that as sort of not spiritual. Planning or actually listening and accepting conditions as they are now somehow means we're denying the greater spiritual truth of things. But we're not. We're actually just allowing the truth to unfold and guide the way, because we're not trying to push away what is right now. So an example of that would be, okay, I have this much money. Practically, I'm meeting it. Oh, that doesn't feel good. What are my habits? I can't do those things anymore. What do I need to do? What limits do I need to establish? What do I need to work on? What choices do I need to make sure I have what I need to pay rent by this date? Okay, this relationship isn't going the way I wanted it to, or you're not behaving the way I told you that you should. Okay, so let's actually listen. Listening might be hard because you'll feel all these things you didn't want to feel relative to what you're trying to make to be. But then listening becomes the basis of actual true intimacy, meaning it's not actually going to be this beautiful fairy tale that you wanted it to be, but it's the starting point for mutuality. Changes and growth and decisions and true discovery of one another can actually happen starting now. So this is where in Pisces, we become co-creators. We have to put forth effort. That's, again, one of the things that we tend to miss most because we want to stay in our innocence and just trust. But this indiscriminate trust gets us confused. So what happens when we trust indiscriminately based upon our illusions or our conditions, we end up losing faith. We become jaded. Well, I'm not going to trust you anymore. I'm not going to trust life, or I'm going to feel very vulnerable and weak, because life will always disappoint us relative to where we set ourselves up for disappointment. It's simple as that. So developing a deeper relationship to the potential for healing and miracles and all beautiful things in this world means getting out of our innocence of just expecting things to work out, being a part of the journey, being a part of the process. We all know this is true. Like, if you want to eat food, you have to walk to where the food is. Effort's involved on every level of our lives. I find for myself that the more I can simplify my needs, the happier I become. When I enter into a relationship with a lot of expectations, where I'm looking at life from a place of there's a lot that I'm lacking and I'm needing more and more and more, sometimes it's less luxurious or less top of the notch, latest item, but it's simpler. There's a formula for peace and happiness when we're really involved in the life that we're living in, versus just always resorting towards objects or the next best thing that will make our life seemingly easier. For example, I love going to the woods, and I often will make videos here. I don't think in recent years, at least, I've ever taken I have a stand, right, for my iPhone, right? But I almost never do, because I like the experience of not knowing where I'm going to stand and not knowing where I'm going to perch my phone or how I'm going to get it to perch. I have to look for sticks and twigs and find ways to get my phone balanced. There's a time where I was like, oh, that's a lot of energy and effort. But then I realized I kind of enjoy it. It's like an intimate relationship that I'm courting. I'm thinking of the teaching. I'm kind of connecting with what I want to say. I'm connecting with the land. It takes more time, but it's embodied and it's joyful. Let me show you, actually. So this is my setup, and I actually came here a few weeks ago. And as I was walking back today to this little spot, I noticed that I think these two things were still there. And I'm like, oh yeah, I left them here. How cool is that? I left these sticks here the last time I tried to make a video. And I just grabbed a couple more things. And this right here to wedge my iPhone so it stays in place. It's really joyful. And let me just show you where I am too. Isn't this such a beautiful tree? The forest really close to my house has a lot of really beautiful moss. So I don't know if I made $1 million if I would stop doing it this way, because it's joyful for me. It's grounding. It's intimate. So the more we can simplify our lives and find value in what's really meaningful and of essence to experience more abundance with what we have now, the more we'll create a foundation for a growth that won't clutter and obscure our minds and create more complexity and suffering, but will actually simply enhance and add to the state of abundance that we're cultivating. Once again, my training program began last week and enrollment will remain open for a little bit longer. Check it out in the description below. You can also check out in the description a link to subscribe to my newsletters that I will often write articles along with these videos. I'm sending one out today. And a link to set up a session with me. All right, as always, thank you so much for watching.